Hello and welcome back to another review. And today we have Scarlet Tower. But before I talk about anything else, I'll let you know if I think Scarlet Tower is worth it. And in my opinion, that's a big yes. So, first of all, what is Scarlet Tower? Scarlet Tower is a game inspired on vampire survivors. It's a gothic horror casual game with roguelike and RPG elements. It's a survival game as well, and it's action packed, really. And I'll be honest, I am surprised on how much fun this game was while I was playing it. I didn't expect it. I was like, I don't know if I would review about this game, but from the first time I put my hands on it, I was like, yeah, it's worth it. I really like it. But I'll talk about more of the strong points and the weak points of the game. But before I get to that, I just want to thank you all for all your likes and nice comments. I really appreciate that. We're starting with the strong points, and I have quite a few. First, it's action packed. Like you started and you can't put it down. There's a lot of things happening, and your attention goes to the game like straight away, and you get into it and you don't see time passing and you don't stop. It's just quite fun. Like I had a good time with this, and potentially also doing a live stream with this game. If I haven't done that yet, just keep an eye out and I'll probably do it very shortly. It has a retro style which is quite well done. I'm not a big fan of like pixel art. Well, I say that I'm not a big fan. I kind of am, but I'm very particular about when I can see that and how that looks like. And I was like, I don't know if I like it, but it works so well with this game. It makes sense. It looks good. Was very done with a very good sense of taste as well, and you won't regret it. To be honest, it is really good. It's very grindy in a good way. So if you like to spend like some casual time on a game, just grinding away with in a map, this is the game for you. You won't stop. Like that is a lot to go around and grind non-stop all around, and it's quite fun. And I really like the way the maps are done. So you have the maps are kind of endless, and you have vendors on it. You have you can find a lot of special things around the map. You can unlock things that you find, like you can find the X and unlock familiars, which is also something that I quite like having the familiars. They help you out. It's quite fun. And you have several types of maps. In each map, you have several levels. I think you have 9 levels, if I'm not wrong. And each level, obviously, it's harder and harder, with more mobs, and they are harder to kill. So you need to get stronger and stronger, and you unlock it when you actually clear the map. So it's a quite nice progression, and you go through this as you play more and more as well. Now you have a really nice skill tree that you can also unlock with time with the money and the gems. I don't know exactly the name of that, but I call them gems. I should know the name, but that's what I call it. And you unlock specific things. You can upgrade your skills as well. It's not just unlocking, but you can upgrade. You can select different ones that you have active at any moment, and well, at any moment before you jump into a game. But you can change that and change the way you play as well. And you have several different characters that you can pick. Each one of them have a different set of skills. You have offensive and defensive skills. You have racial traits. You have runes, and oh, it's so much. Like it's overwhelming, but it's in a good way. So I quite like the amount of possibilities that you have in there. And I think for the last strong point that I would say, it's in constant development. So since the last time I played, so what you're seeing on the screen, there is already some new developments, some updates, and even on updates of some of the things that I think are weak points as well. I still think that there are some ways to go on some of these items, but you can see that they are working on it, and this is getting better and better with every single update. Since I've been with the playing the game, I've seen two updates. One of them were a little bit bigger, and that is a major one coming with a lot of new things to add to the game with like new weapons, I think skills, rooms, and a lot more. Let's talk a little bit about what I think are the weak points. The game can be a little bit repetitive for some people. I know that this style is not for everyone. I was kind of surprised how good this was for me because I thought it would be repetitive as well. But I know that it's not a style that every single person will enjoy. I see that although you change the map, you change because of the skills that you get every time you play, and what are the options. That is like a random kind of sorting on what you can pick every time you level up. So that changes your playstyle a little bit, but it can become a little bit repetitive if you're not into these grindy type of game that's very casual as well. So just keep that in mind. Not a problem for me, but again, all that I'm talking about is all based on my personal opinion and experience. Is no one asked me to say those things. Although I got the full transparency, I got the license for free. The developer was very nice to share that with me, but everything that I'm talking here is based on how I play it and my impression of the game so far. So maybe take a look at it yourself and see what you think. It still has some bugs, but they are being working on. There was, as I mentioned, a few upgrades and a lot of bug fixes, performance improvements, change in the UI, all that sort of stuff. But there is still some, like for example, if I'm playing a few times, I start having some issues with the sound, the music, just from time to time it stops like for a second and then comes back. I don't know why, I don't know what happens there, but it's been happening. There are some smaller things like that, but nothing major. And finally, the UI that I do believe that needs some improvements. So for example, when you start a new game, the menu map is actually your kind of start because you go from the character selection into the next screen. But it feels like to me that that's disabled, and I like took me a few seconds to realize that that's how I progress. I was trying to select every single thing on the first screen and trying to figure out why is this not getting enabled, but it's actually how the button is. So just smaller things like that, more tips and information about what each item actually is, or how to do things in some screens. Like you can merge some they're not skills, they are runes, and you can merge them into other things, but there is no like clear explanation on how to unlock it, how to get some. Sometimes in the middle of the game as well, I kind of don't exactly know where to what I'm looking at. So if you have like a special skill, you have like an object on the ground, you don't know exactly what that does. Although the more you play, the more you realize what each thing is and how they work. But I think it's just quality of life improvements that will help onboard new people into the game and make this a more enjoyable experience. In conclusion, do I think Scarlet Tower is worth it? It definitely is. It's currently in early access, a lot of development going into this. It's quite fun. There's quite a lot in there for you to unlock and to play different characters, different play styles, and all that sort of stuff. So I think you might like that. But for now, I just want to thank you all for watching. I hope you like this review of Scarlet Tower and maybe consider watching the video on your screen because I think you might like that as well. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.